Election day in Kansas and Missouri. Good evening, everybody. I'm Chris Ketz.
And I'm Kelly Eckerman. Bria is on assignment. Thousands of people on both sides of the state line are filling out their ballots. And if you haven't yet, you have 2 hours before the polls close. If you're in line by 7 o'clock this evening, you will still get to vote.
In Missouri, voters are choosing their party's nominees for governor, attorney general, secretary of state, plus House and Senate races. And in the GOP governor's race, 3 contenders have been at the top of the polls.
KMBC 9 News is with their campaigns tonight all across Missouri, and we'll begin with KMBC 9's Bria Berry. Bria, you're with the Secretary of State, Jay Ashcroft, there in Springfield.
That is correct. We are live downtown live in Springville right now on the Moxie Hotel rooftop tonight. As you can see around me, the reporters are here. So preparations are well underway for this watch party tonight. Mr. Ashcroft, one of 3 Republican nominees endorsed by former President Donald Trump. He is pro-life. He opposes a proposed amendment which could be on the November ballot to restore a woman's right to choose. He is for school choice, meaning he wants parents to decide if they want to send their children to public, private, or charter school. So that's just some of the planks that he stands for. What we're hearing from his camp today is that he placed his vote at 9:15 this morning in Jeff City. He is on his way. He should be here in the next 15 minutes, and we are hoping to speak to him on camera so we can have an interview for the 6 p.m. newscast. But right now, as you can hear, the music is playing. The party is well underway. Again, on the rooftop, a very hot, windy day. But we'll be here all night bringing you some updates, and the live coverage will continue. But for now, we'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Bria Berry in Springfield right now. Bria, thanks. Missouri Lieutenant Governor Mike Kehoe is also hoping for a big night. KMBC 9's Matt Evans is with the Kehoe campaign right now in Jefferson City. Matt.
Yeah, we're here inside the Capitol Bluffs Event Center in Jefferson City, just across the river from the Missouri State Capitol in the Missouri Governor's Mansion, where the Lieutenant Governor is hoping to be elevated to that position after a primary night tonight and obviously the next election in November as well. We're told this is kind of the event center in Jefferson City. Even Lieutenant Governor's daughter got married here. Now it's kind of come full circle as he's holding his election night watch party and the biggest election night of his career here at this event space as well. And Mike Kehoe's last swing through the Show Me State yesterday, he stopped in Kansas City to rally supporters and tout his conservative record, both as a state senator and as a lieutenant governor. He's run his campaign almost as an incumbent. He has the endorsement of current Governor Mike Parson. He says he wants to continue a lot of the momentum of the Parson administration while also focusing on crime prevention. He has endorsements from several law enforcement unions and says his first action, if elected, will be to enact a crime plan on day 1. An interesting note about what happened when the lieutenant governor cast his ballot earlier today in Jefferson City. He cast his ballot, walked out of his polling place, and saw someone that was having trouble with their car and has actually seen under the hood of their car trying to jump start it. Lieutenant Governor actually owned a Ford dealership here in Jefferson City about 10 years ago, so he's using some of these small business ideas as well to run on, hoping that his experience running and growing small businesses in Missouri will help voters choose him to grow and move Missouri forward as well. We do expect the Lieutenant Governor here at his watch party a little bit later tonight, about 8:30 or so. The watch party doors will open around 7 or 7:30 whenever polls close later on this evening. We're live in Jefferson City. Matt Evans, KBC 9 News.
All right, thank you, Matt. And State Senator Bill Eigel is hosting a watch party in St. Peters. That's near St. Louis. KMBC 9's Jackson Kurtz is there live. Jackson?
Yeah, that's right. We're at the Old Hickory Club. We just got done talking to some of the team here for Bill Eigel, and they are confident they're going to win tonight. They're calling this a victory watch party. Still starts in a couple of hours here. They're still setting up the stage. This campaign has gained a lot of support the last couple of months, especially with that endorsement from former President Trump, as well as an endorsement today from Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz. A lot of excitement from the supporters from this campaign tonight. They'll see what happens in a couple of hours when the watch party, or victory party as they're calling it, starts. Some other things the campaign is also behind tonight is Bill Eigel's wanting more local control for Missourians to have more local control, especially at schools, wanting to dismantling bureaucracies in Jeff City, give more control to parents for what kids have in the classroom. Another big issue that he has as well is eliminating that personal property tax in Missouri. All 3 candidates have been behind this. Bill Eigel, of course, being very passionate about this on Heart of the Matter when Cody Holyoke spoke to him and when we interviewed him a couple weeks ago. So a lot of excitement here tonight. A lot of people are going to be here. They're still trying to wait, and when folks will show up, it starts around 7 p.m. Back to you.
Thank you, Jackson. Now, all three of those Republican candidates are endorsed by former President Trump.
Take a quick look now at the Democratic side. 5 candidates are running for the party nomination for governor, but it is mostly between 2 candidates in particular. Businessman and fast food CEO Mike Hamra and House Minority Leader Crystal Quade. They're both from Springfield, and of course we'll be watching those results tonight. Another big race, the GOP primary for Missouri Attorney General, as 2 top Republicans are facing off here.